the Old Testament by Micah. Micah chapter 7, verses. He said, man's enemies are the men of his house. So in Matthew chapter 10, verse 36, we saw that Jesus Christ reaffirmed that prophecy and that word that Micah gave, that the man's foes are the people of his own family. Now, one will just say, I did not have enemy. My people, they love me, they care for me, they don't have that type of mindset. I'm not bringing this message to cause conflict in the family, no. But Jesus Christ, he preached on this, made it clear to us to understand. And we discovered from that scripture that man's own enemy, man's household enemies are not only merely people in the family. Sometimes they are ancient institutions, ancient altars, ancient sacrifice made by our ancestors, made by our fathers, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of knowledge, sometimes because they want to prove a point. They enter covenant. Then when those covenants continue living, and even when they are no more in reality or living in the world, those covenants still work. And those covenants, those altars, those shrines becomes household enemy. Sometimes it's not such institution. Sometimes could be human being in the family. No, God made it clear to us that He is a jealous God, and He is a God that jealous. So He said we should serve no other God. And if you look at the book of Genesis, clearly, Genesis chapter 1, from verse number 26 down to 27, we saw that God made an announcement, let us come together, make man in our own image and likeness. Verse 27, He made it clear to us that we are image of God. So God has that tendency of jealous. And if we are image, that tendency of jealous is in man. And we all know that everyone in the family want to be in the spotlight. They want to be the one other family to look onto. They want to be the one providing. They want to be the one in the midst of every discussion. And you know, in this our time, success places man in such dimension. Your success also counts. So people becomes envious of their fellow brother, of their dear brother, of their sisters, because of their success. And the truth is that not everyone will make it on earth. That is fact. Because there are some people are made unto honor. Why? That is what the Bible says. When the scripture brought out that ideology of a potter, there are some things created by a potter unto honor. So if you have this understanding, there is no way you will be envious of your brother who is making progress. Now think of your own life. How many people hate you in the family? And any family that such thing